So I would go on to say Zoella, right, her Instagram, follow everybody, go on her Twitter, follow everyone. Anyone who follows me back, DM them.
Wow.
It was an actual, like, my dad would come and be like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm working. Copy paste. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Digital Voices Creator Behind the Influence podcast. I'm joined today by none other than everyone on the internet's favourite Welsh girl, BambinoBecky.
She's the only one, that's why.
No, and Simon Wilson.
Oh, Simon. I love him.
Yeah. Anyway, you can introduce yourself properly.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay, I'm Becky. I do some videos on the internet. Like the most unhinged things you've ever seen, basically. And I do a lot of drinking content, basically. That's just, we'll get that out of the way now, but yeah.
This is an 18 plus podcast.
Okay, perfect.
Kids, you've got to leave now. About.
You're done. Oh, what, just because of me? Oh.
Yeah, just because of me. No, normally they're fine.
Okay, yeah, fine. Well, kids, you can stay if you like.
Yeah.
I won't tell.
Your parents like, what are you watching? Digital Voices.
We do not endorse this message. Oh, yeah. God, yeah. So, thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
You've been doing this for years.
Too long.
26 and 2017?
So I had a channel before BambinoBecky, which is still on the internet. Can't get into it. The passwords just won't work. Which was from like the age of like 10. Just so
without
bad.
the alcohol, that one obviously.
yeah, oh my god, imagine. Until like it was till like year 8, and then BambinoBecky was like year 9, I think.
Yeah, mad that you started it so young.
No, it's embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. How do you feel like, because I mean it must be part of your identity, like when you were growing up in school and stuff, how did you find that?
Terrifying. So I kept it a secret for ages, and then I remember walking into school, I could just hear my voice and I was like, oh, that's really annoying, what's that? Because I was so shy, like the shyest person. And one of my friends was just like showing everyone the video, and I was like, oh no. And then it was on the whiteboard when I went into class, and I was like, oh, well, this is it then. And everyone just knew me as that girl who just did YouTube. But now they're like, can I be in a video? And I'm like, yeah, no.
At what age did they discover it?
Year 9.
So literally like a year in.
Yeah. I remember in my yearbook everyone wrote like, oh, I hope your YouTube channel does well. And I'm like, oh. And it was not doing well. I had like 100 views on every video, which is fine, of course. But like,
takes time to start.
Yeah, I had like my mum watching it, that was it. And everyone from school.
Basically waiting to see if anything went viral.
Do you know, I've got like YouTubers who'll like show me DMs I've sent them, or like people who come to meet me and they're like, do you remember sending me this? And it's like 2015, and I'm like, hi, just started a YouTube channel, would you mind watching it? And I'm like, oh no. I used to come home from school and just like spam everyone until you got like the message saying you can't DM anyone else today, and I'd be like,
isn't that like 100 messages?
Yeah. Copy paste. Yeah.
So like it's you and then all those jewellery brands that are trying to get random people on Instagram to do sponsorship.
Everyone's like, she goes to my school. No, I didn't send it to anyone like that.
How did you know what you wanted to do? Like how age 10 and then age 14 were you like, I know I want to do YouTube, and you had so much commitment to be like messaging people?
Do you know what was weird? Like I literally had this thing, it's gonna sound really cringe, I was like, I'm not doing anything else, I have to do this. My dad was like, what uni are you going to? And I was like, what? I was like, I can't. I was like, I physically can't. I think it was because, and I'm blaming these, I watched these like YouTubers, I think it was even before like Zoella and that, who were doing it, and they had like this amazing life and everything, and I was like, well, that's it then. That must be it. And I'd go home and like religiously watch like how to do YouTube and stuff. It was so bad.
And so you learned to edit from YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube.
I've always really done, like I've always edited videos. Like, I guess you were probably the same, like in school you do like the video star and stuff. Like, I'm just so glad TikTok was not around when I was in school, because it would be the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Worse than my old channel, and that's saying something.
I think, there's something like comforting about like sitting down and making videos on YouTube. So it can be cringe, but it can't be like, like you're doing dance challenges, you look back on it.
Yeah, maybe. I think I was just trying to be funny, and it was not funny. Oh God, my first video's still up, so if you want to watch that, go for it.
Yeah, but did you like want to do comedy? Like, was it just you knew you wanted to get to the goal of being a YouTuber? So like, did you think about the type of content you wanted to make? That's
so weird. That's such a weird question, because I literally never did. Like, I always just wanted to be a YouTuber, which is like, oh, every kid now. But you know, I suppose I liked making people laugh, which was quite fun. But then I didn't really know how to, as you can tell in the videos. So now I think it's just like, now because it's been so many years, I know it works. And I know, like, it's just fast-paced works for me. And I think, like, because in person people are like, you're all over the place. I'm like, yeah, because if you can imagine, if I cut this down right now, it'd be so funny.
It'd be great.
You just zoom in on everything. You don't have a second to think, oh, she's not funny.
Yeah, Becky showed me a clip of a fox going into her building today.
Yeah,
That's the weird, funny moments in life.
Exactly. I was so
Right,
excited. Yeah, a fox came in my building.
Yeah. So, but you said you were shy, so you knew you wanted to do, like, comedy stuff, but you were quite shy in real life.
So weird. I think because we had a YouTube group, shout out Sammy G, and I think with them I was like over the top, like, oh my god, love these people, like we're all the same. We're all really, really weird. I was going to swear then, sorry.
You can tell you like, you've already talked about alcohol, so like...
You've already ruined it for yourself.
Yeah, it's fine,
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so with them I was like, oh my god, I could make all these videos, have so much fun. Then in school I was like, these people are not the same. I was so scared of them. But it's so weird now because I'm friends with like the people who used to take the piss. Isn't that so bad?
I was going to ask, does it change, do you think it's partly changed because you've been successful? Do you think people like see that and then want to be part of your life?
Right, yes and no. I think yes because they're like, oh, that's cool, like she's actually, it's not just weird anymore, like she's actually like meeting these YouTubers that I really like, and like, oh, could you get a message from this guy and all this stuff, yeah. But also I've found out that they're actually weird as well, so they're not as cool as I thought they were.
In school everyone's fronting, so yeah, then you never really know how deeply weird everybody is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, okay, yeah. No, it's so strange.
And so one of the things I think you've done like so differently to a lot of other creators,
no. It's just life.
anything, but it's like the DMing and it's like getting to know people and building a community around what you do and having that community like help catapult your success, because a lot of your best performing videos are collabs, and KSI shouted you out and you got like 6,000 extra followers in 2 days.
It was 2 days, yeah. It was crazy, yeah.
It's mad. But like a lot of other people often make YouTube videos in a bit of a vacuum and it's just themselves. Whereas you've
that makes sense.
built lots of friendships around it and you've been in other people's videos.
Yeah.
And why did you do that?
Do you know what? It was just because we were all, like I said, in school, we were like, oh, found each other on the internet. How cool, internet friends meeting for the first time. Film the hug. Like, do you know what I mean? And
travelling down from Swansea for the day.
Oh, God.
To Sitzy.
But we also used to do meetups, and I think that's literally what made my channel, like, go bigger, because people would come to, like, Glasgow, Bristol, everywhere, when I had, like, 2k subs, to just, and it would be mad. There'd be, like, at least like 50 to 100 people there, and we'd be like, what is going on? So I was like now,
viewers who fans who follow you. I don't like the word fans. Fans is a weird word,
but they like, turn up, and then like now I've seen them, they're all like 21, and I'm like, whoa, because at the time they were so young. But it was like doing stuff with viewers like helped you, because they'd be obsessed with you then, like they loved it. So I think that's what, if anyone's starting YouTube, definitely like actually spend time with them, because then they get to know you and they're like, oh, showing their friends, and then it really does work, like actually spending time with people.
We were chatting to Mr. Beast's team, and they said that they...
Hello.
I mean, Becky and Mr. Beast is the same. Exactly,
yeah.
So perfect. But they were saying, like, even more than giving away cars, if they want to drive, like, entries for something, the chance to appear in a Mr. Beast video will get more entries than giving away a car.
100%.
Which you forget how, I think, and like brands forget and marketing agencies forget, like how much your audience want to be close to you in a non-creepy way.
And also I feel like with Mr. Beast, it's like when you're older, you look back and be like, kids, I was in a Mr. Beast video. They'd be like, what? Like, what a shop.
Hey, someone's saying that about BambinoBecky. Like, I got to be in the BambinoBecky video.
No, hey, we're getting there. We're getting well. We'll see. It's like my channel is like this. It's crazy, but yeah, it's all good.
But so when you started, you were connecting to other creators and your audience as well.
Yeah.
So you were just messaging everyone.
Everyone. I'm trying to think, because it's so long ago, like how we all met, but it was just like literally just all doing the same thing. But I was messaging, so I would go on to say Zoella, right, her Instagram, follow everybody, go on her Twitter, follow everyone, anyone who follows me back, DM them.
Wow.
It was an actual, like, my dad would come and be like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm working, copy paste.
Working at 14.
I was on it. Like, I literally remember having like a notebook with like how many people had subscribed and like, oh, bless her.
That is so committed.
It was so, like, I'm like, I need to work this hard. Like, if I worked that hard now, I'd be flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's like a level of expectation you must have had for yourself. Where you were like, I want to get to, like, what were your goals?
Right, well, my goal was, this is what was mad, was that the reason I was doing it is because I was like, oh, I don't want to go to university, I don't want to do any of this. I want to just make videos, which is, like, at the time, a bit mad. The goal was move to London and do YouTube full time. So when I actually got there, I had a breakdown. I was like, because I hit 100k the, like, a couple of days after I moved in. And I was like, oh no, I have nothing. I have nothing now. And they say that happens, don't they? So if like you've worked for something for so long and then you get there, you're like, okay.
What do you do once you've got that success? Yeah,
so it took me like literally a year to be like, oh my god, I didn't even know what videos to post. I was just stuck. But yeah, now you just got to set more goals, I think. But at the time, I was like, oh my god,
you've achieved.
That was it. Yeah, it was so strange. That was
the video where you were just crying the whole way through it because you were so happy, and you kept saying thank you to your audience.
I cried for about 2 hours. I got so cool. Becky, pull yourself together. The worst thing is, it just carries on because that wasn't even the first place I moved to. Just an emotional wreck, basically.
Is that why? Because you stop and start your channel sometimes. You like take breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it because of
Okay, the first break was when KSI shouted me out, and it was just pure fear. I filmed about 6 videos, showed them to my flatmates at the time, and they were like, right, change this one, do this one. And I was like, okay. So it took like 2 months before I actually posted, which is so bad. You're supposed to be straight on it.
Expectation.
Yeah. But that video did really well, so I was like, thank God. But yeah, after that, because I just didn't know my audience anymore, because it went from being like these some like young girls to like these like young lads who were like, hey, hey. And I was like, oh God, I don't know my humour anymore.
Very different.
Yeah.
A very different audience.
Ridiculous.
Especially because, yeah, like even after the Sidemen, Tinder in real life, the audience is so different to the one you'd like initially cultivated.
Unreal. But I will say, if KSI calls you funny, all his like, not minions, but like his followers will be like, she's so funny, even if they don't find you funny. So that's good. But
well, thank you, KSI.
Yeah, that was a break. But then also, honestly, the only time I take a break is when I'm literally like, people are like, oh, she's been so lazy. I'm like behind the scenes going, I don't know what to do. I'm like stressing. Like this year I've been so bad on YouTube, which is annoying, but yeah, like I'm just trying to work out what to do. But stuff's coming.
Is it because you put so much pressure on yourself?
Yeah.
Sounds like you did it.
It's terrible. I've just got this like, I think that's why I can't work out TikTok. It's because I'm such a perfectionist with like videos. I will literally put in like a video that could be done in like 6 hours, filmed and posted, take me about a week. Because I'm sitting there going, right, no, add more, it needs to be more chaos.
I like when you add bits. I like noticed that I was watching, I feel like I've stalked where you live. Because you did like 2 different flat tours and then I was like,
oh God.
Most of your audiences from KSI, I'm like interiors. But you're like adding bits on, you're like, sorry, I didn't do this properly. And I can tell that you like put a lot of pressure on yourself to make the videos right.
It's like an epileptic fit watching my videos. I just like, it's so fast. And like I did a video of Reading Festival. It's a whole 24 hours. I think the footage I had was about 3 hours long. The video was 5 minutes of the whole day because I was like, it needs to be so fast.
Edit faster.
Like, that's so bad on YouTube as well. It needs to be 8 minutes. So
I mean, it needs to be that. Yeah, you need to get the ad breaks then.
I know. But hey,
it's so interesting because like you're right. When people see a creator take a break, they often think like, they got too big to do YouTube or like whatever.
Yeah.
But actually, it sounds like you underneath are that same like 14-year-old DMing all the
100%.
You're just putting loads of pressure on yourself.
Like the most imposter syndrome you'll ever find in a person is with me. It's bad. I'm still like, okay, so what time do I go back to the pub to work? Because like this isn't gonna last. So bad. And like I talk to like big YouTubers about it, and they're like, you're insane. Like just look at your channel and like everyone is literally telling you that they like your videos, and I'm like, you sure though? And I'm like, it's so annoying. Pick me.
That must be so much self-doubt. It's interesting as well because you've built such a strong community of people around you who like have supported your channel or have been on your channel and are your friends as well.
Yeah.
You have people with similar YouTube experiences.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but it sounds like you still doubt yourself.
I think because I came into the UK like YouTube scene a bit late, because I was with like we were all doing YouTube, but like most people have like in our old group have gone and done like bigger things, whatever, like what they actually wanted to do, which is cool. But like when I joined, it was like I remember speaking to Calix, and he's had all this experience on YouTube because he's been big since he was like 18, so he knew he was class. You know what I mean? I didn't. I thought it was just like a fluke. So yeah, it's like just trying to work out what I should be doing all the time. But yeah, I've got this thing coming, big thing coming, which I've been working on for months, and that's like, for me, that's like, okay, that's gonna be good.
Is it like a format or a series?
Yes, both.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, thank God. It's like, so like every time I post a video, I'm like, is this good enough? Then I'm like, it's fine, because that's coming. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is it you, or does it involve collaborations as well?
Yeah, collaborations in every one. So.
That's
and that's
cool.
what I'm saying, because I've said it so many times. They keep going, no. Yeah.
I won't ask you anymore.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you're kind of going back to the roots of your channel as well, which is like.
It's gonna sound weird because like when I first started doing videos like with the KSI stuff, the only thing that worked for me on YouTube was talking about KSI, milking it. And so the one thing I found that actually worked for myself was drinking, which is like obviously not that good. Sorry, Dad, but yeah, like that's one thing I'm like, oh, that actually works for me. Like without, I kind of find that myself niche wise, because nobody was doing it because they were scared of like doing the whole like pub crawl, getting absolutely steaming on camera.
Well, because didn't Hannah Witten do like tips? Was it Hannah Witten or Hazel Hayes both had like drinking
talk
and tipsy talk? Yeah. And that like
Those
was a series that worked. And then I think a lot of creators worry about alienating brands because they're like, oh, I don't want to feature alcohol all the time.
Yeah.
But you'll just find the brands that don't mind.
They don't mind, and also just waiting for the big 25. It's going to be amazing. Next year, I'm turning 25, which is crazy. And that's when brands work with you, alcohol-wise.
Yeah.
So they're all just sitting there like...
Turning 25 does really help you. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. It'll be fine. But like, I'm also trying not to do like the drinking stuff all the time. But people love it. So it's so annoying. They're always like, oh, let's go for a pint together. And I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah.
Well, it's British as well. The socialising is like all around that. And
I know.
Just a soda water.
Yes. God.
That's some lime in it.
No, it's bad, you know, because like if I go to an event or anything and there's like a free bar, which is mental, by the way, I never thought I'd go somewhere with a free bar, and all the like influencers are like, I'm not actually drinking because I'm really worried about like what might happen, and I'm like, oh yeah, same. An hour later, and I'm literally just like, yeah,
way,
let's go.
That's the thing. I think there's like a big viewer backlash against the professionalization of influencers, and I think you can see it in the way people love TikTok. And I think part of the reason they love TikTok and creators on TikTok is because it's less polished.
And it's real. It's so real. Like, they literally will just... I went to a TikTok event the other day. Don't know why I was there. And they were like, right, we're having a break. Yeah, cool. And they would just, like, start talking about something that happened to them. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then they're just like, they're talking like this. And I'm like, if I did... Oh, I don't know, but...
You could do it. New TikTok format. Come up.
God. But they're so good. Yeah. They're all so, like, terrifyingly quick at everything.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so good.
Which is your type of editing chaos.
I know, so why can't I just get that onto TikTok? I will, but yeah.
I think for you it sounds like you're gonna beat yourself up until you find a format that you like, and then you'll be like, oh, I can do it now.
This is therapy. Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah, I will. It's so annoying because I'll watch this back and be like, Becky. But yeah, it happens.
You're gonna come off on TikTok. I remember the first time I saw your channel, actually, I was working at YouTube.
Really?
And I was like, she talks about KSI a lot. It's like KSI fan channel. But this is like the first time, this was years and years ago. So I worked at YouTube like 5-6 years ago. But it was so funny. And then like we were trying to find like female creators we could champion. Because like YouTube, I ran like a female creators program.
Right.
And I was like, great. Apart from the how do we not? Because there were loads of channels that were just like Sidemen fan channels. Quite a few as well.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You had more substance. Like you did more beyond.
Mine was more like, not taking the mick out of the situation, but like just pretend I was the biggest KSI fan in the world. The best thing about it is in school I remember people talking about the Sidemen, when I came into the pub and I was like, KSI, yeah, he's on YouTube. Everyone was like, and I was like, he's pretty big, isn't he? Is he? What's going on? I was so confused. It was like my completely different side of YouTube. So that was I think that's what made me go like, oh God, there's so much more to this than I thought.
All these niches that you can break into that like your audience will not have heard of, like completely huge creators. Yeah, everyone has their own.
It's mad,
niche.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I remember the first person who found me was True Geordie.
Yes, love True Geordie.
I absolutely love him. You don't understand. And he messaged me. I was literally on a shift in work, and I'd go to the cupboard to upload videos, and people would be like tapping me like, "What table am I on?" And I'm like, "One sec."
I'm still doing my messages.
Copy paste. And
Dad, leave the room.
It's the first time I've ever seen a verified tick like ever interact with me.
Was that the first person to message you back?
No, I didn't message him. I was too scared. But he messaged me and he was like, "Hi, just seen your channel." And it was quite small at the time. And he was like, "Do you want to come and do a collab?" And I went into the bar and I was like, "True Geordie wants to collab." And I remember my friend Nikki was like, "She's made it, guys. She's made it." And, bless him.
So how many subs were you on? So how old were you? You work in a pub, so you must have been like 18.
Yeah, I think I was 19 at the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the video, like it's us sitting like this because he's such like big man, and I was so like at the time, it literally looks like they've edited it either side. So funny.
He sat on the yellow pages.
Yeah, exactly.
So So he was the first person to message you, who was like a big creator who found you.
Yeah.
But who was the first person to message back when you were like 14, DMing everyone?
Oh, it was. Do you know what? It was all just like followers of people, and most of them would tell me where to go, but the others would be like, "Yeah, of course," and then they screenshot and send it to me now, and they're like, "See, it was nice when I was 12." I'm like, "Sorry."
So were you messaging them like, "Hey, I have a channel, please follow it"?
I can literally remember the message. It was like, "Hi, really sorry to bother you, but I have a YouTube channel. Would love if you checked out, maybe subscribe, winky face," or something ridiculous. Like if you got it now, you'd be like, "What's wrong with this person?"
You had so much hustle.
I know, but looking back, I was like, could have done it better. It looked automated.
I mean, you couldn't have custom done everyone.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's been too much.
To be fair, I remember there was a time it worked if you said their name in it.
Yeah.
So that was quite a. God, it's awful, isn't it? But hey, it worked.
I think it worked.
Yeah.
Like, it's alright. It shows you put a lot of effort into.
Yeah, like I do wish like sometimes I could go back to then, because it was like I'd worked so hard, but also I don't, because it was so scary, because I was like, oh God, this isn't going to happen. This is never going to happen. So yeah, it was very strange. Yeah, it was really weird.
We're like 400k subs now.
I know. We'll take that. That's fine. Stop there.
You're like, I didn't want to get
no,
thank you.
100k is happy for me. Yeah.
So was your first collab with True Geordie?
No, it was with like the group, like our little YouTube group back in the day, that we would do collabs all the time. But my first collab with a YouTuber was Sophie Foster. Do you remember?
Sophie Foster, yeah.
Like Sophie Foster to True Geordie, it was like makeup to then like we were literally talking about porn, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything about anything, but I remember going to Sophie Foster's house. I'd watched her for years, and I was like, hi. Oh God.
So did she invite you? Or did
she did.
And I bet you reply to all your DMs now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you send so many.
Yeah. So yeah, it was mad. That was so surreal. But I don't know who else I did collab with. Jack Edwards. We love him. Yeah. I remember I invited him to our Edinburgh meetup, and he turned up and he was like, everyone was obsessed with him. We were like, who's this boy? He's so just nice. And now he's Jack Ben Edwards.
He still is. We had a Christmas party
and
clients came and he came.
I was supposed to come.
Yeah,
I was supposed to come, yeah.
Well, Jack was at the party, and the brands, like some of the brands we work with, were like, can you introduce us to Jack Edwards? And we were like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And they'd like come over, and Jack was, obviously he's really nice, and the brands were like so excited. There's people who love Jack, like love him. Yeah.
And what's so good about Jack is he's never been like, oh, I want to be the next big thing. Or like, he's literally just enjoys making videos, and it's blown up. Like he doesn't care. He's like, I've gone to Paris to live, and I'm like, take care. Like he's so, like the least problematic friend you could ever have. Yeah. So nice.
Very down to earth, and I think it's funny, you can tell when someone's making content they actually like. Yeah. And you could see with his like book reviews.
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah, he's actually happy with his life.
Yeah, because he was worried I don't know if I'm not making this up. I should imagine. I remember him being worried about leaving uni because he was a bit like, oh God, that was all my content. But now he's literally flipped it in a way that's just like, of course, that would work.
Yes.
Book reviews. And he just gets to read books in Paris and then talk about them.
I know.
Poor
and then
boy.
New York soon as well, I know.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh,
It's just going to be the literati dream.
Yeah. But then he just flies back for things. Flies back?
Yeah.
Eurostars back, yeah.
Yeah, both. He'll do both.
Yeah, he's the type of person, there's a few. Max Fosh is the same. There's loads. Robbie Knox. If you ask them to do something, they'll be like, yeah, when? What day? Give me a schedule. I'm like, whoa.
They actually care.
Yeah, they actually want to be involved. It's so nice.
But how do you find, so like you've done so many collaborations and like a lot of your videos are collabs as well.
Yeah.
So how do you approach people? So say we've got aspiring creators watching.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Turn back. No, joking.
How do you run? How do you recommend like approaching people and getting them involved?
Meet them first, 100%, if you can. If not, then... So I've gone back to this like massively with the TikTok people. I know I'm banging on about it because it's completely different. Half of them don't know who I am. Imagine, I'm joking. Half of them don't really watch YouTube.
They live under a rock.
Yeah. So it's literally going back to the time of like going to Sitsi and being like, right, I'm going to kind of talk to this person, meet them a few times. I would never ask someone for a collab. I just couldn't do it because I'd be like, oh my God, I'd be sat there thinking, oh my God, do they actually want to be here? Of course they do, by the way. If you ask someone, like, the worst thing to say is I'm busy, and then you'd be like, okay, that's fine.
Just don't be offended by no.
Yeah, because when I was doing strong ones, like messaging people, they'd be like, oh my God, absolutely come on. I'd be like, what? Really? You want to come on? They'd be like, yeah, obviously. I'm like, okay. But yeah, going back to it is meeting people first. Like I met Max and GK Barry. When was that? Gosh, no, like I invited Grace to my birthday because I was like obsessed with her, and we'd spoken a few times, but it's all about just like interacting with their stuff. Like I'll like follow her, and then we were talking, and then like at Reading, Max was coming over and he was like, we were having a laugh together, and I was like, that's so weird, I can't remember how we met. But like if I messaged him now, I'd be like, do you want to do a collab? He'd fingers crossed say yes. But anything like that, you know, so it's just be just nice to people. It gets you far. It does.
Actually, like you're right, commenting on their videos. I noticed you. Yeah, you do follow other people as well. You subscribe to their channels, and you do sometimes comment. You're quite good at like the engagement stuff.
That's weird you say that because I've subscribed to like 1,000 people, and it's just through my time of being like, if I'm at a YouTube event, I'm like, what, do you want me to subscribe? What's your channel, kind of thing, and then I'll go back and watch it, and then I feel like I know them, so it's like easier. But I've always done that.
So do you sit there when you've messaged a couple of times online, you've commented on their stuff,
yeah,
meet them in real life, are you sat there like trying to work out how you can subtly be like, haha, wouldn't it be so cool if you were on Strong Ones?
No.
How do you do you just...
Oh, do you know what? I'll drop it. I've done this a few times, people, but it's always been when I've had a pint because I could never do it otherwise. But most of the time, it's going to sound really vain, but they will say like, oh, when am I coming on Strong Ones? And I'm like, oh, well, when do you want calendar? And they're like, oh, yeah, you just messaged me, so like that's fine. But yeah, I'm the worst person to ask because I literally could never ask people.
So funny, but so much of your success has come from it as well.
Yeah. So I literally would say, just talk to people, like, and just have conversations, and then they'll probably message you about it. You know, especially if you're doing something that they enjoy as well.
And so when you did like the True Geordie video or Sidemen Tinder and and you were the first person to do it, weren't you? To do the
Tinder, first YouTube ones.
YouTube ones to do it, yeah. How did they ask you? Like how did...
Oh, it's always Josh Cirica. We love him. Absolutely love him. He'll just send a DM and I'm like, oh God, what's this? And he's like, hey, well, we're doing Dragon's Den in 3 days. Do you want to come on? And I'm like, yes, of course I do, but I'm going to have a breakdown for the next 3 days. I will not know peace. Yeah. Oh, that was bad, you know. Like, because Stephen Trice was on there, Nicole, Zach and Jay, when I walked in, I went, oh, fuck. Here we go. Yeah.
I think it takes a lot of confidence to be in one of those videos.
Yeah.
Because you know as well, I mean, that's got like 63 million views, something ridiculous. And everyone has opinions as well.
Oh my God, and they're all looking, like, with the Sidemen Tinder, yes, script format, but for the girls, it is shit. Like, the comments, it's like, oh. And I put my hand up to go first, like a maniac, because I thought, get the link in the description, happy days. And I walk in and I was like, oh my God, this is really intense.
And it is, the lighting's even intense. It's like...
Watching it back, like, the number of reactions to Sidemen Tinder on YouTube, and I'd be clicking on them going, oh my god, like, the first girl walks in, it's me, and everyone's like, what do you think of her? And I'm like, oh my god, you don't even get a chance to speak. Like, hi. And it was just after lockdown. No, just before lockdown. And I had a short black hair at the time. I had a breakdown. And it was like the worst time. And so looking back, I'm like, oh my god. What
but luckily, it's funny because if you didn't have a YouTube channel, that would be like your only chance to interact with people.
Yeah.
But now, like, because you have your channel, you can evolve in real life, so people can follow you and see how you're doing now, not having a breakdown.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's great.
No, that's the thing. What's mad about Sidemen is there's some girls who'll go on like the 20 versus 1, and now their YouTube channels are big just because they've been on there because they smashed it, and it's like that's crazy how much like of a pull the Sidemen have.
They do hugely. Yeah.
With that KSI thing. Oh, KSI.
Who's your favourite Sideman?
It has to be KSI just because of everything. Every time I see him, I'm like, don't speak to me. I can't do this.
You're like, I'm too famous for you.
No, I just get emotional. I'm like, oh. And he's just too nice.
Such a nice person.
Yeah, like when I went to the Sidemen party, and the first time I met him as well, I was so nervous because he messaged being like, we're doing a wedding for the Real Name music video, and I just moved to London. It'd been like a week, and I was like, oh my god, I'm meeting KSI. Oh god.
And you hadn't met him before?
No.
You'd done like loads of content about him, you hadn't met him?
Yeah, so he did the storyline. He did the tweet. I then moved to London. Then he messaged me to meet. And I was terrified, and I was like, he's going to be a dickhead because it's KSI. And I met him, and he was the nicest person ever. But every time I see him, it's always like at a party or something, and I'm always like, thank you so much. And he's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no.
He's like, God, she's crying again.
Thank you. There's a picture of me at the Sidemen party, and I'm like holding him, and I'm like,
he's a deity.
Bad. And he's just like, God's sake, what have I done? Created a monster.
It is funny though, because it has created like so many people's channels. And so
fucking crazy. Yeah.
Is there a message that you would give yourself back when you were like younger and DMing all these creators?
Yeah.
Is there something you'd tell yourself?
Okay, do you know what? If I could, I'd just be like, carry on, because if I said like it does work out, I would have been like, okay, fine. Laptop closed, it's fine. I don't have to, But part of me knew that it would. It was really strange. I was like, well, I can't see myself doing anything else. Yeah. So I'd like to not tell her how it's going to go, just because otherwise she'd stop working hard.
Yeah,
which is
keep
good.
Hustling.
Yeah, I'd just be like, keep going.
So do you like that part of your imposter syndrome?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think now, like even stuff like this just inspires me to go home and be like, right, yeah, okay. Because even talking about it, because sometimes you can be like, God, it's so bad, but you can be in London, like you're hanging out with all these people you used to watch, and then you're going back to your apartment, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is normal. It's not. Then I go home to Wales, and I come back, and I'm like, get me to that computer. I need to start sending some more DMs. I was like,
yeah, especially like my dad grew up in Swansea, and he was like, getting out of Swansea. That sounds really mean, but getting out of Swansea like changed a lot of his life, and it's just,
yeah, like it is mad. Like I love going home, but it is the same thing. Like everyone's, and I love them all, but everyone's stayed the same, and it's like from school, me being the shyest person ever to coming back and being like, hey! Like some people, this boy said to me on Wine Street, I remember it very well, I was like, I used to sit by him in English, and he was like, oh, what school did you go to? He's like, I love your videos, like, what school did you go to? And I was like, I literally sat next to you in school. And he was like, no, you didn't. He was like, you didn't go to our school. I was like, yes, I did.
Yes.
That's how shy I was.
Age in the same class.
Yeah. So that's the thing, like going back, it's so nice to see different side of people because I'm actually talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one thing I'd actually say to myself is be more confident in school because they aren't as cool as you think they are.
No, not at all.
No.
They just haven't realised
They're also insecure as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't think they're popular. I was like, boys, you were popular in school. They were like, no, I wasn't. Yes, you were.
Yeah, that makes sense. And do you have any advice for someone starting a channel now?
What would I say to someone starting a channel? God, this could be the most hypocritical thing ever, but just be consistent. Find something that, find something that you like to do and people aren't doing that much of, which is easier said than done. And take what you like. Look at YouTube. Who do you like watching? Take what they're doing, but change it. And make sure you do change it.
Don't just copy a format, but like edit it a bit.
There's a thing going around at the minute. It's like, if you want to be Mr. Beast on YouTube, you've already failed. Like, because he's done it. Why would you want to watch another one?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's funny, a lot of people are inspired by that type of content and try to emulate it. But like, you can't. You have to emulate it in your own way.
And you'll never be as big as God. It's awful. And it's just hitting them down. You'll never be as big as him unless you're doing something slightly different.
What's your favourite animal?
Otters, just because they float around and hold each other's hands.
Favourite food?
Chicken korma.
Favourite drink?
Pints.
Pints of what? Pints of
what? I didn't want that to come out. Pints. Give me a Peroni any day. Yeah.
Favourite brand?
Yeah. Surfshark VPN. I'll say it one time. Okay. Surfshark VPN. Thank you.
There you go. They'll love that. I'll send them a clip over.
God.
When are you next going on holiday?
We're planning a holiday right now. I've not been on holiday once this year. Yeah. I think we want to go to Portugal.
Oh,
never been.
Favourite colour?
Green.
Favourite advert?
Oh God. I can't even think on the spot in a good day. It's not that this is a bad day. Hello? God. Knock me out. Favourite advert is... oh God. The only one I can think of right now is HelloFresh, and it's terrifying.
Favourite YouTube channel that isn't yours?
Robbie Knox.
Okay. Sorry, KSI. She doesn't really love you. Dark, last time you cried?
To date, no. Last time I cried was at Reading Festival. I literally just too many pints, and I just was overwhelmed with happiness. I was having a good time, and then I fell asleep on the train, and I woke up crying.
Happy dreams.
Yeah. You know, one of them times where you have a few drinks and you're like, oh, this is so fun. And then you're like, oh God. Yeah.
You're such a nice drunk.
I hope so.
Favourite movie?
Jurassic Park or Back to the Future, can't choose.